until the dry season, allegedly. Doesn't look very dry to me. Jonni, whose name I only learned recently, and his offsider, whose name I haven't yet learnt, have turned up to start getting on with this work we have. And I handed him the silicon sealant there to plug in the hole that he pulls that hose out of that goes into the house, because we're not going to use that hole again. Jonni's off at Bank gathering supplies. There's a new pump for the shower because that one had seized. So yeah, not much will happen more now for a while. Today's thunderstorm appears to be on top of us. There's been some mighty cracks of thunder. And we've got a cat on the front doorstep here. The cats are not allowed on our front doorstep because they crap on it. This one hasn't got the message. I had some rippers before. There was one of those thunder claps where you get that zzz, boom. But yeah, and yesterday we had 50.50 millimetres. It doesn't take long. It reached a peak rainfall rate of about 80 millimetres per hour, which is not as the highest I've seen here. I've seen 133, but 80 millimetres per hour is pretty well coming down. But yeah, so I guess the guys won't be working on the roof at the moment. They've replaced the pump for the shower and working on the plumbing in the backyard and the back. Oh, there comes the rain. There goes Nora. So yeah, well, we're looking for indoor work at the moment. Since it was rainy outside, they really needed to find some undercover work. So we've got the pipe cut off there and joined to PVC pipe up and across. That goes out through a hole up there, and we'll get joined to a T going up. To an elbow going up at some point. I inserted the T in that line there, so this is all part of the system now, integrated in. Replaced that pump for the shower, but we don't have any water pressure currently, and I think I understand the problem. That yellow valve there probably needs to be turned on. That's not a big one. Yeah. There you go, we've got the start of the connection to the line that's going to come across from the shed. The way the rainfall goes around here, we might actually have some water in that pipe now. It's Sunday and the guys are back for another day of plumbing adventures. Yeah, yesterday afternoon's thunderstorm gave us another 31.5 millimetres of rain. Got to watch out for that green slime in the shade. Took one step on it and almost went apex over base, or base over apex. Yeah, so find myself a place in the shade where I can observe as we have a longer section of pipe joined up. Fairly tall ladders because they're going to come up to there, which is what, that's the about 4.5 metres up, I think. theory is a couple of twists around the support cable and some cable ties either end to make sure it doesn't untwist. Then we should have adequate support. But I'm going to run away and get out of these guys' way. Come back and report later when they've actually achieved. Well, my suggestion was to loop it over the cable a few times, so that way you only had cable ties at each end to hold it in place, but they appear to be just slinging it underneath the cable end to end. Oh well, all I can do is suggest. Yep, I turned that on and the pump came on immediately and ran until that tank was pressurised. So we're good to go there now. Well, it looks like they got it fairly well tied up, but there's always going to be just that little dip there. I don't see it as a problem. We don't have a ladder that's going to let them reach that. As self-appointed safety officer, I think I might have to turn the other way. So if we... yeah... I've got a rope across that Jonny's waist height, and it's bound together at that top level there. So I had the first aid kit ready, but they'll probably be okay. I've probably got about 15 or 1600 cable ties in stock, so I don't care how many they use. These sort of things are much cheaper here than they are in Australia, because I think in Australia the cost of products includes a lot for the labour involved in selling them and such like. Here, labour of course is very, very cheap. It's probably costing us $40 a day for the pair of these guys, which means they get paid much more than the average labourer. So far so good. We just need to move it across to do the next section now. Looks like Jubaedah's jambu tree at the back of the back patio here is looking to have another bumper crop. They're not particularly spectacularly flavourful fruit, but they're okay. But yeah, it's abundant crop, but I'd really prefer that tree wasn't there, but Jubaedah likes it, so it stays. Not sure how they're going to put cable ties on in the middle of that tree. I suspect they're not going to, because you can't really get a ladder under that very well, I don't think. Although maybe that short one, that may be enough to get them up high enough to do it, if they can get it in position. Now I've just tested more 3 watt globes, and I've got 2 that are a bit dim, 3 which are fairly bright, and that one last night up there, it was bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, so I'm going to swap that one out again. I'm told there's no rush on that because it's going to be up there doing plumbing anyway. This is where they're getting a bit creative. Climbing the tree to do some of them and seeing if you can set the ladder up in the garden back there. May or may not be able to get enough spread on the thing. Whoop, it's locked. That's good. Okay, well I'm going to go away and cool down a bit and have some fruit. I'll be back shortly. They've got that section done, and over here they sort of went off to a different path to what I was anticipating. I was expecting the feed for Lise's house to continue from that valve up top there across to the back of the house and then feed across, but they've put another T in lower down and run it across the top of the roof. And they were going to run down the west side of Lise's house, but I pointed out that it might be easy to go along the east side, and they've changed to that solution now. But, so it'll get done, but not quite how I anticipated it being done. Yeah, it's okay, as long as it works. And I guess that extra valve on that T up top there does give us the possibility later of running a pipe into the house. And so if the provider decided she wanted drinking water at a tap inside the main kitchen, we still have that option. Just reopen that hole that we plugged yesterday with silicon sealant and run a pipe through. So the pipe has come across the roof and now running along to come along the east side. So that was a shorter route than, or easier route than going the other way along the west side. There's a bit of moisture laying about because we'd had a short sharp shower of about 8 millimetres of rain. So there they are. So you can see from that the tap. Oh, hello. So the tap is through the north wall of Lise's kitchen. Well, there you go, the jackfruit trees growing beside the path west of the shed are actually producing some jackfruit. Well, one of them is anyway. And it's going to have more than one because, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 growing there so far. Don't see anything on that one, but its time will come. And this one north of the path has got a big one growing up there. Actually, got 3 growing in a triplet there, another one up there, so we're actually going to get a bit of fruit off this one by the look of it. Unless the grandchildren harvest it prematurely, of course. I was thinking this is a bit lazy, not winding up the hose, but I see the handle's broken off over there at the back. Wonder what I can do to fix that. I don't know, but I'm standing here getting steamed. The citrus trees growing vigorously. Finally some citrus fruit growing. I haven't seen a lot on these. And I wonder whether it's due to lack of pollination, because I never see bees around here. There's something growing up there. Don't know what that one is. I didn't actually bring my mobile phone with me, or I could look at the plant identification thing and find out what that particular tree is. It's probably a guava of some kind. Don't see a lot of pods growing on my cocoa trees yet, but one down there, there's lots of flowers along the branches, so maybe it's been looking at what you got to do on YouTube, and you got to get all the beans out of the pods, then you got to stick them all together in a gluggy mass and let them ferment. When they're fermented, you dry them off. That one's growing okay. And when they're dried, you get rid of all the surplus material off them, so you get down to the nibs. Then what you do is you toast those in an oven. There's more through the other side there. This is looking promising. So I may get to screw up making chocolate sometime. Lots more pods down the bottom down there. So maybe. We'll see. Well, I've got the tap installed in Lise's kitchen. Now they're working on the shed end. So I'll probably get this bit completed today. I don't know how long it takes for the glue to dry, so maybe we won't have water in the kitchens yet today. It'll get turned on tomorrow. And tomorrow I guess I'll tackle control the line across from the west end of the shed to Dadang's house. There's water from the tank over the shed coming through. It doesn't come through at a very fast rate. So we took this tap off and cleaned it out, and it was working fine, and now it's slowed down again, so may have to change this tap. Let's see what this water's doing first. This one works too, but the flow rate does drop away after the initial substantial flow, so I think it's being well, there we go. I think it's being limited by the throughput rate of the filters over at the shed. And it's already slowing down a bit. But it's adequate for normal use. Started on the plumbing for the linkage to Dadang's house, but the order of operations is off as far as I'm concerned. They should have done this after they had the cable up. And I think we're missing one of the necessary stop valves. Because there needs to be one on the upward pipe from that. I don't see one amongst the kit. I've used them all. Dadang's got a pretty good garden at the back of his house. If ever we get the aquaponics going, I'd be having Dadang in charge, because I reckon he'd look after it pretty well. Yeah, so he's got his own fish growing in there. Lots and lots of chilies. So yep, green finger, green thumb. Very good. If you want oxygenator for that, I have that too. I handed Dadang my pruning secateurs to have a go with, so he's going to clean up the cocoa trees a bit. Meanwhile, we have a cable installed from here through that tree across to the shed. We couldn't get further away given the length of cable we've got. But I originally started with a 100-metre roll of cable, and it's been used to go across to the house, across from the house to here, from the front of the house across to a couple of other houses. So we've done pretty well with what we've had. So they did have a valve, fortunately. And they've got this turned back on, so we have water pressure again. It's just turned off while they work on it. Good. Before I handed him the secateurs, Dadang was pointing out the different limbs he would trim. So that one's good, no, take that one, that one's good. So given that he seemed to have a clear idea of what he was doing, I figured maybe he does. Dadang's house is just a bit over 3 years old. That roof's looking pretty sad for 3 years old. I just hope this roof on the shed lasts longer. I'm not seeing any signs of rust on the galvanised iron on that, although I don't get to see the south side of that other side. But yeah, I don't want to see rust up there. Well, Dadang's tidied up with his trees a bit, so I can see there's a number of pods, a couple of big ones, lots of smaller ones down the bottom there. That's looking promising. Not much happening on the second one. Third one's showing flowers further up the limbs, so that's looking promising. And the fourth one, lots of flowers over the lower limbs, one little pod. I don't know if you had a look at this fifth one over here. Yeah, I think he missed this one. These guys have got the plumbing for Dadang's house done across to his house. Now they're working on that end. Well, it's after sundown. In fact, it's what they call Maghrib. So, end of the working day. That globe's a good one. Siti's got water in her house now from the shed, and we replaced the automatic transfer switch over here today, and that was a bit odd because we replaced it then we had no power on the feed from the house. So okay, fussed around a bit and eventually found we redid some connectors up on the roof, and then we had power, so it's doing as it should now. But it leads me to think that perhaps I should check out the one we removed, put it on some sort of test rig and see whether it really is stuffed. And the guys, we're back tomorrow to give Jubaedah a drinking water tap over here. And rather than come down and sort of pipe down the wall there, what we'll do is on this side of the wall, we'll come down and move this thing out of the way, and we'll go through from this side. And that'll look a bit neater in the kitchen. And this being an area which has got pipes and what have you anyway, it won't look any worse. So yeah, going well, and it's only Monday. There's a new drinking water tap in the main kitchen. So this is the back of the wall where it goes up to the ceiling to get in. I've seen some video of some nice neat piping up in the roof, and now I've got that bit sticking out there which we joined up to a piece running across that cable after they had a break. But the important part was to get the bit in the roof done this morning before it gets too damned hot up there. The guys have renewed the non-drinking toilet water tap while we're at it. That's what the two old taps look like after 42 months in service. These were good Aldi taps, I think. So there was probably fairly superior quality, but I'm betting the new ones are probably going to look like this after about 12 months, because they won't be nearly as good a quality. But you can see even the good stuff doesn't stand up well to the well water around here. And I'll set up a test rig for this guy next week. I've already got too much video for this week, and it's only Wednesday. This kitchen sink inside doesn't drain very well. That's because of the poor plumbing in the slab. I'm sure there's not enough fall, and there's T intersections where there probably should have been 45-degree merging intersections. So there's blockages in the slab. So these guys are going to clean out what they can get out here, and then hopefully clean the blockage in the slab, which is a bit challenging. Well, it's Friday. The guys finished up a few days ago. They have a technique now for cleaning out the drain from the kitchen sink. They actually have a fitting where they can hook up the air compressor to it and pressurise it until it actually blows the blockage out, which, with that grate out of the way, we saw happen. We heard the pressure building, and then when a great gush of water came out, preceded by a bit of debris. But yeah, so they're done. Hello, Birdie. And the other thing they did with the plumbing of water from the tank is they put a tap out here also in Lise's back patio, because this area is used extensively for cooking for the big events. So it seemed logical to have a water tap here as well. So next week will be a quiet week again. All I'll have on my agenda is mucking about with that automatic transfer switch to see if it's okay or not. But that's enough for this week. In fact, it's more than enough for this week.